Okay, so I'm just gonna be giving you a little bit of info on what I'm doing here. So, oops, obviously I've already changed out the PCB so that I can use my switch on the cabinet. Real pro tip, and we're gonna come back here. Do not do what I do and do not mount your PCB directly to this metal board. It'll keep shorting it out and it'll cycle power. You have to either have it floating, which I don't recommend, or mount it to this wood. Do not have any part of your PCB touching the screen. And also, it should be noted when you get the HDMI PCB in the mail, it's not gonna fit. It's not gonna fit on in the original box. So yeah, you'll just have to mount it somewhere else. As you can see, 4x3 screen. It works fine. There's not delay. I thought there was gonna be a little screen delay, and at first I thought I noticed some. If there is some, it's one of the very few I've ever experienced that's small enough of a latency that it's fine. Like if there is one, I can just barely notice it, and you'd get used to it after playing for about 5 minutes. Even people who are playing at like 240 hertz, okay, you'll get used to the very small delay in this. But what I'm doing, here's what's different from other people. I'm using what I had around. I had a mayflish fight stick, and I had this, and I'm like, I'm just going to take all the buttons, swap them out, but, it would look ugly, because then the buttons are going to be half black, half, red. And then I thought of something. This is the exact same as the mayflish buttons. Oh, here it is. Exactly the same as this is from that one, and I just decided, let's plug them in, and it worked. So these will actually work with all of this hardware, and that's so cool because I really like this original, these colors, the red, white, and blue, and just how it looks overall. And most importantly, I like these concave buttons. And believe it or not, those are actually harder to find. Most of the buttons out there nowadays that are affordable are just like this, which is fine, but it's not what I'm looking for. In fact, it's superior. Like if you're in a fighting tournament, you would want this, not this. But I don't care. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing short little updates on this. If you have questions about the PCB, it's really quiet when you get it. I have it plugged in and it's still quiet, so it's clear I'm gonna have to use some other speaker solution, but you can turn it up. There's the little buttons that are the little circuit board that right there that's attached to the PCB with the buttons. That doesn't just change the screen settings. You can use it to change the volume. And I don't know quite how to do it, but I got lucky and figured it out. So there's no instructions. Fool around with the PCB board control panel for a little bit. These are no longer gonna do anything. They're proprietary. I wouldn't be able to hook them up. But I'm gonna be using these 6 buttons, and then these 2 for left button and right button, or left button and right trigger, because most games actually need 8 buttons, and we have 6 here. So we'll have start, we'll have select, and then A, B, X, Y, left trigger, left button, right button. And if I really want to get silly with it, obviously this is going to be the single analog stick I'm using. If I really, at some point, I'm going to try and do dual analog sticks, and it looks pretty silly when you're playing it with both of them, but it's close enough together. Like you can see, it's close enough together. You feel like you're operating a crane, But I'm going to get this one working. And then at some point, yeah, we're going to do this so I can play things like... I wouldn't do this, but I could play something like Call of Duty on this with dual stick. And I could do 2-player. I don't actually want to do that. This is small enough as it is that, you know, the 2 people sitting at it, it's not very comfortable. And it's probably going to need to be something like your fiance, okay? You're probably not going to be sitting on the same exact chair with your homie, you know, from 5th grade. But if anybody else is curious, yeah, this would be excellent for kiddos. I got mine after shipping. People keep forgetting this is like 80 pounds. So the shipping is very expensive. But most places don't include shipping. They include it in the price of the product. So free shipping, which is unreal. I got this for about, I think, $280 after tax and everything. I'm happy with the purchase overall. I think people aren't happy with the price being around $300. It's actually usually $500, but $300 because there's only 12 games on it, and that makes sense, and that's why I'm doing what I'm doing. But in reality, you're paying for so much shipping weight, and you're paying for 12 different licenses, and you're paying for the Capcom license and the art here. The 300 starts to make sense, even though there's only 12 games on it. And we'll be honest, 6 of them are the exact same Street Fighter with different characters. So in reality, there's really only about 7 games on this built in. When I'm done with it, I'll be able to plug in whatever I want. I'm going to use a PS3 as a slave instead of... I just have the Switch there right now, the Nintendo Switch, because for ease of fixing the controls. But yeah, those are my upgrades. I'm going to put an LED strip right under here. That'll be multicolored. It's going to flash down. And here's just one more shot of the back for you. I don't do what I did. You know, don't let it float like this, but whatever. If I break it, I'll buy a new one off Ali. Oh, there's another trick. On Amazon, these are $25. I'd say that's fine for a deal, but, you know, you can really get these off AliExpress for like $8. But, you know, be willing to wait a couple months. See if we can switch this over. No, we can't. Interesting. Well, I guess I'll just have to hold it like this. Thanks for watching, and I'm going to be getting a tripod soon, so it won't be this nauseating to watch. Bye-bye.